In both the Democratic and Republican primaries, the outsiders are defeating the insiders. Why? In the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders, coming from nowhere, is piling up very impressive numbers against Hillary, actually defeating her in the latest poll in New Hampshire and challenging her every place else. And in the Republican primary, Donald Trump, an outsider, is in first place. Carly Fiorina is moving up. Ben Carson is pretty high up. And all of the regular politicians are kind of in the second tier, or scrambling to make it into third and fourth place. Why is that happening? Well, I think the most fundamental thing is the incredible breach of trust that both parties are guilty of with the American people. On the Democratic side, you have all of the lying of Hillary Clinton, all the evasions, all the cover-ups, all the nonsense, the vast amount of money they made, her concealment of all that stuff, and that matters. And ultimately it leads Democrats and Republicans alike to reject the official inside choices of their party precisely because they are the inside choices and move with other people. In the Republican primary, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Republicans have won 2 of the last 3 elections. They won 2010 and they won 2014, and they lost 2012, but there was not a significant loss in Congress. Of course, the presidency was lost. But having won 2 of the last 3 elections, the Republicans expected that Congress would be Republican. And indeed, there were majorities of the Republican Party in both houses, and they selected leaders of the Republican Party, Boehner in the House and McConnell in the Senate. And then the leadership that their representatives chose proceeded to sell out everything they had campaigned on. They campaigned against raising the debt limit. They voted for a higher debt limit. They campaigned on balancing the federal budget. They approved a budget ever more in deficit. They campaigned on repealing Obamacare. They failed to cut off funding for Obamacare. They said that they would protect American jobs, and they gave Obama trade authority way beyond anything that they should have done, which will undermine American jobs. In area after area, the Republican Congress behaved very much like a Democratic Congress. Or, to put it another way, very much the way the Republican Party behaved in 2004 and 5 and 6, that led to its defeat by the Democrats in the election of 2006, behaving as sort of a miniature version of the Democratic Party. There's a joke in Washington that if the Democrats proposed to burn down the U.S. Capitol, the Republicans would put in an amendment to phase it in over 5 years. And that's the way the Republicans operated in the past. Now, periodically, there have been rebellions. Newt Gingrich led one that toppled the old Republican leadership and brought in a bold, aggressive new agenda. And now the Tea Party is attempting to do the same. And in the presidential balloting, guys like Trump and Carson and a woman like Fiorina have tremendous resonance because they're really talking about the betrayal of the leadership. Now, the only insider candidate that's doing that really is Ted Cruz, who's really running against the leadership of his own party, and that's why he, almost alone among those insiders, has begun to move up. The big casualty of all this has been Bush, who is the ultimate insider, who has been dropping, particularly as Trump came into the race. What's the long-term implication? Well, the insiders have a lot of money and a lot of capacity to rally and push their agenda. But on the other hand, you have to really listen to the mood of the electorate and understand that it is very possible that there'll be major upheaval in both political parties this year. And boy, is it needed. Thanks for watching.